Welcome, all you puppy loving people, to my wonderful whelping room. Here we are today getting ready for Libby's third litter. She is really pregnant. We've been testing and taking her temperature every 12 hours, and we are getting close. So I've gotten my labor and delivery room ready, and I thought I would take you on a little tour. And just, I know when I was getting started, it would have been nice just to see how do you get this, all the things set up and get things ready, because you just never know when things are going to get going. I started getting this room ready about 10 days prior to our estimated due date. That's also the time where most people start deworming and increasing the food by about 10%. And I just don't like to be off guard. It has happened, but I like to be really ready. And I'll show you how we do it in our labor and delivery room, aka my office. So we have lots of ways we change this room into helping myself as well as the puppies. So here we are. We have Libby. I brought her evening crate. That's where she's used to sleeping, in her crate, into this room a couple of days ago. And this is also where I feed her and have her water. I have all kinds of bedding material around here so she can dig and she can have her cozy place. Yeah, you're kind of uncomfortable, aren't you? And then I leave and make sure she can get in and out of the room. And I check on her all day. We leave the door open, but I do have a gate out here so that the other dogs are not disturbed by her, or she's not disturbed by them. They really like it to be peaceful. That's why a lot of times they find a dark place for them to have their puppies, because they just want to be by themselves. And um, yeah, so you can see I have a little closet here. I've got pretty much all the accesses blocked by my oxygen chamber that I don't think I've ever used, really. I just have it just in case. And then up here is my DIY, what do you call this? Well, I can't remember right now, but it's where I put my puppies if I need to keep them isolated or a little warmer when she's getting ready to have the second or third or fourth puppy. I put the other ones in my little, I can't remember the name. Anyway, so yeah. All over here, let's see. I have a whole bunch of bleached rags. They have a little roughness on them and they're ready to go. So I can grab a puppy, rub them, get them all dry if needed. We have all of my tools ready to go. I've been cleaning, sanitizing them in the solution. And I have my gloves, my suction. These scissors by Breeder's Edge are the best. They really take the umbilical cord so well. I rarely need the Stypic powder. So we have the alligator clips and a couple different sizes of suctions. Between each puppy, I clean it all really well, dry it off, and have it ready. This is, by the way, chlorhexidine. I have these little wipes inside this chlorhexidine. I like to clean up mom in between puppies. Chlorhexidine helps those one-celled bacterias from going off all on everything. We have this kitchen scale. There's lots of different types of scales out there. This is just one that I've had. It's great. Just remember, if you're using this, you need to get comfortable using it. Most scales are this way where you have to change the unit, and when you put your bowl or your whatever you're going to put the puppy in, which changes by the size, you have to push tear for the size and the weight of the bowl. Let's see, what else do I have? Um, After cutting the umbilical cord, or she tears it with her teeth, which is ideal. Then I do a little iodine drop. I pretty much do that until the umbilical cord drops off. I do have these little clamps. It's not my preferred method, but if we have excessive bleeding or yeah, I've used them a couple different times, and I just clamp it on and then I leave it on until the umbilical cord drops off. So I don't really love it because even though they're super small and light, I don't want any. I don't like anything be hanging on to the puppy too much. I do have some identification collars. There's lots of different ways of identifying. I've used nearly everything that's out there. For many years, I used a non-toxic nail polish. There's some people who do Sharpies that are supposedly non-toxic. You can do it underneath their ear or on the tip of their tail. I love these parachute cord collars. I'll put a link down below on where I got them from. They're really great. This last litter, I actually didn't take them off until about 12 weeks. They expanded just great. That was wonderful. I like to have wet wipes of some sort just because you never know what you want to quickly clean up. I do have right over here next to the door, I have all kinds of potty pads. I have disposable and I have washable. So I have old blankets and comforters that I just set down on the floor. Again, I let her just dig and pant and let her have at it. But when it comes to actually getting the puppy out and ready, I like to pop down a couple disposable potty pads. That way I can throw them away. I have my garbage bag right here. That's just for anything that you just want to get rid of, take it out. And then I throw a lot of stuff in the hallway, and that way it just kind of keeps things a little bit clean. But I do have my wet wipes just in case. Like I said, I have been taking Libby's temperature every 12 hours. It should be every 12 hours. If I started at 7 a.m., it should be 7 p.m. And we do that, I don't know, for the last week of her pregnancy. That way you can see the temperature. Typically it spikes a little bit and then it drops like 1 degree. After that drop, usually she's in active labor within 12 hours. Yeah, I do have gloves, but I rarely use them because it's just difficult to maneuver in gloves. But I do like the gloves in a bottle. After washing my hands really well, I use the gloves in a bottle, which is like lotion, but it just keeps that barrier in place. I have my 2 whelping chart, or my record keeping. I have a whelping chart which shows this is what I work on right when they're born. I actually don't mess with the puppy until we have a second or even a third puppy on the ground. Then I take the one, make sure we're doing well, and then I go ahead and record the weight and maybe even a collar. I don't have a problem putting a collar on a newborn. Some people do, and that's fine. I've never had a problem with that. A lot of times I will do a probiotic at that time, right when they're born. We have Doc Roy's as well as the Doc Symes, and then we have some colostrum. Sometimes we need that. And of course, we can't forget the oral cow. This is, I start right as soon as I can tell the first stage of labor is going on. I go ahead and give 2 cc's about every 2 to 3 hours until she starts pushing. And once she starts pushing, you can go ahead and give another 2 cc's and in between puppies. I have the mama's pudding all readied up, and I also have liver water ready just in case. And actually, I do reward the mama in between. I try to give her water, lots of water, but I also do the mama's pudding in between, kind of like a ice cream or whatever. And then when they're done being born, I put out a nice large um, heating pad on the floor. And of course, I'm checking the temperature. This one actually has a nice thermometer with it, but it doesn't stay on. So I set it around 88 degrees. And with the heating pad and mom, puppies stay nice and toasty in here. I leave them in here until after all the puppies are born and everybody's calm and have rested, and then I move them into my room where the whelping box is. So there we go. Thank you for watching, and I hope that watching what I have going on helps you. Maybe I'll take a video when we're right in the middle of everything. That would help you too, probably, right?